And I started questioning my abilities right there. What if I mess up? What if I drop the ball? I'm not Jerry Rice, and can I play with one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in this game? One of my goals today is perhaps to help you deal with a moment like that. A moment where maybe seeds of doubt come over you. You start questioning your ability. Maybe you're not giving your A game. You're not happy with the results that you're getting. Or maybe you're concerned with change. I know there's a new president, maybe some new structure, new way of doing things, a new voice. I mean, this is Joe Montana. I question, could I really play with this guy? I want to make it very clear, though. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job, all right? I'm a motivational, inspirational speaker. My job is to empower you. It's to motivate you to do more, be more, and achieve more. But at the same time, share simple principles and strategies that help you elevate your game so that you're always performing at the highest level, that you are the best of the best at what you do and what you pursue. Why? Because I know a little something about that, where I was the best in the world at my job. You don't make it to the NFL by accident, and you don't stay there because someone's doing you a favor. You make it because you earn it, and you stay there because you continue to earn it. But it was during my journey to the NFL and the time that I was there where I learned some very valuable success principles. Success principles that really helped me make the transition to life after football. To where no matter what I was doing, no matter what I was pursuing, I still took it as if every day was game day. Every day is game day. That's the mindset we had to have in the NFL. It wasn't just on Sunday. It was how you showed up at the office. How you train, how you practice, how you prepared. We always had to do it at the highest level. You could not wait till Sunday. And so today I still have this mindset of game on, game on. You ever hear people say that, game on? They kind of get fired up. They're saying that because they're ready to mentally take on a challenge. They're ready to do something special. Now I realize that many of you have probably been to a similar event like this in the past. Maybe you've been to different training events and all that. And I saw this quote by Albert Einstein who said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So here's my question to you. What are you going to do different this time that you're here? How are you going to take advantage of the brain power here and all those you have access to? Because the results you get in anything you do is how you show up. How do you show up here today? What's your attitude like? Are you sitting up, taking notes? You ready to pay attention? What are your intentions today? Because I will say something today that will impact you in some way. I don't know what it's going to be. Something's going to resonate with you in some capacity. Because it's really more about you, the individual. Because I realize you're one big team, Ivy Investments. You're one big team. And I've had the privilege of being on so many different types of teams over the years. I've been on some bad teams. I've been on some good teams. I've been on some underachieving teams. I've been on some overachieving teams. So I think about it this way, because one of the more impressive things in life when you're part of a team is when you can get everybody to move at the same time, in the same direction, to achieve the goal. Let's illustrate it this way. We know when we look out in the sky during the autumn season, you see birds migrating. And when they're migrating, they're not typically just kind of flying all out of control. They're usually flying in a V formation. And they do that for a reason. Because if they fly in a V formation, they have a better chance of all the birds arriving there safely. But each bird plays a role. They have to be properly positioned in that formation. They can't be too close to the bird in front of them or too far away. During the flight, they have to make adjustments along the way. Because the goal is to properly position themselves so they can catch the updraft of the bird in front of them, preserving their energy and their strength so they can make it to their destination. So each one plays a role. So for you, whatever the goal is, ultimately, everybody plays a role. Speaker, I love this. It's the passion I have because I feel I have something to share, not just with athletes, just anybody. Anyone who wants to seize the opportunities they have. And I love using that word opportunity because I see an opportunity as a goal, a dream, something that you want to achieve. And I wrote my book 2.5 years ago, When Opportunity Knocks, 8 Surefire Ways to Take Advantage. Kind of like a blueprint. And the reason why is because during my journey, I saw so many people have opportunities, a chance to do something special, to achieve something that they want. And I'd see them miss out on it, and they would regret it. Or maybe they grabbed the opportunity, but they could not maintain it. And I love that word, and there's that saying, when opportunity knocks, answer the door. No, when opportunity knocks, you don't answer the door. You bust the hinges off the door, and you make the opportunity stay. That's my mindset. And when I think about you, I was thinking about, wow, the opportunities you guys have and how you're affecting lives every single day. So the beauty of being a professional athlete in the business world, you learn a lot. There's a lot of similarities. There's some differences. Obviously, I don't have somebody 300 pounds trying to take my head off anymore. And there's the physical differences. And that's what's interesting about the NFL. It's your physical attributes that determine your success. Your physical attributes. They want to know how fast are you in the 40. Measure your speed. What's your agility like in the quickness drill? How about your strength and power? Broad jump, vertical. How many times can you lift 225 pounds? They have benchmarks. If you don't hit the benchmarks, you don't even get a shot. Doesn't matter what you did in the past. You don't even get a shot. But what I love about the business world is different. Because you control the odds. It's really about your effort and the commitment you make every single day to do your job. And that's something we can control. Because in life, there's a lot of things we can't control. I'm sure there's things that you guys are experiencing now, maybe that are out of your control. So we focus on the things we can control. And the effort you make every single day to do your job, it's your responsibility. Now, I was speaking to actually one of your clients about a year ago, a financial advisor, and I spoke to the group, and the gentleman came up to me afterwards, and he says, you know, JJ, that in my profession to launch and then to go on to have a long career, the better odds of me making the Navy SEALs. And I was like, really? So I Googled Navy SEALs and saw it's 40,000 people try for the Navy SEALs and 6% make it. But when they shared that with me, he was like really locked in on that. And I said, so what? Who cares about the odds? The odds don't matter unless you allow them to matter. I don't know what some of you guys are thinking right now. I mean, think about yourself. What are the odds of you individually increasing your numbers? What are the odds of your company increasing the numbers? I don't know what some of you guys are thinking. Maybe you're worried about the odds. Let me tell you a little quick story about the odds. I'm going to read something to you. This is from Al Saunders. Al Saunders was my wide receiver coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's coached in the NFL 46 years. His job was to evaluate talent, and particularly wide receivers. This is what he said when he first saw me come in Kansas City. Upon meeting the 5-foot-inch tall, 157-pound football player, I couldn't help but wonder what on earth our front office was thinking when they offered this young man a contract. At first sight, he certainly didn't appear to possess any of the physical characteristics this game of huge men, fierce contact demanded, nor did he seem to possess any of the traits necessary to excel at the wide receiver position in the run-first, physically demanding style offense by head coach Marty Schottenheimer. On the surface, JG appeared to have no chance whatsoever to make the team's final roster. A camp guy, said the scouting department. Someone to run pass routes in training camp to give the veterans a break, keep them fresh. He's got a track background. He's got speed and quickness. Maybe he can give the defense, the backs, some good work in practice. Camp guy. I was just another body. Scrub, just taking up space. Have you ever wanted something you're desiring, something you're going after, and people question your abilities? Why are you doing that? Why are you wasting your time? Why do you spend so much energy pursuing that? I call them dream stealers. A lot of dream stealers out there. They want to steal your dream. But I learned quickly it's not about the dream stealer understanding my journey. It's about me understanding my journey. Because the odds really didn't swing in my favor as far as making it to the NFL. Look at these stats. Every year. And the other one was I had a burning desire to prove people wrong. And that was my why. This single point is probably one of the most important points that's being taught in leadership training events is understand your why. Why do you do what you do? Think about that for a second. Why do you work for this company? Why do you have the position that you have? Do you even know? The why is the whole motivation to why you do something. And you need to know because you're going to have those bad days. You're going to have those wall-kicking moments when you're angry and you want to shut it down. The motivation is what keeps you going. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask everyone in here on a pad, what is your why? Write down what is your why. Why do you do what you do? But think about this first. I'm going to give you a couple examples because I want to stress this point. Bob Schmidt, he's a leadership trainer. Here's how he describes the importance of a why. He says, let's say I had a plank. It was a foot wide, 20 feet long. And I put it on a brick about a foot off the ground, 2 bricks. It's going across. And I offered you 20 bucks. Here's 20 bucks. Would you walk the plank? Easy money. Give me that. Walk the plank. But then he says, what if I took the plank and put it up, suspended between 2 buildings, 100 stories high, and I offered you 20 bucks? Yeah, would you do it? No, nobody's going to do that. It's crazy. But then he says, what if your kid was on one of the other buildings and the building was on fire and flames were licking at the back of the neck of your kid? Now would you do it? Absolutely. Any parent in their right mind would not hesitate. What's the difference? The motivation, the reason for doing it changed. It wasn't about being concerned with their health or the money. It was about saving their kid, the motivation. That's why this point is so important. And I want you guys to think about it because it has to be emotional. It's got to tug here so that no fear, no doubt, no obstacle, no excuse will stop you from doing what you need to do. Because when the why is strong enough, the process to get there is not a challenge. Whatever you're trying to get to, whatever the obstacles are, if the why, the reason why you're doing it stronger, the process to get there is not a challenge. When I saw the NFL was a possibility because it wasn't at first, and that could help me achieve what was important, I didn't care what I had to do. How big are they? I got to hit them? No problem. I was willing to do what it took. But understanding this point is so important. So to find out your why, sometimes you got to peel the onion. You got to ask yourself questions. What excites you about your job? What's important to you? What makes you want to jump out of bed and attack the job every single day? I was meeting with a woman about a year ago in Chicago. She said, hey, JJ, I need to lose some weight. You got any tips? And I said, why do you want to lose weight? She said, well, because I need to get healthy. Why is that important to you? Because I want to be able to get on the ground and play with my kid because right now I can't. Why is that important to you? She said, because I want to be around. What are you talking about? She said, my mom died of obesity when I was a kid, and I want to be around for my daughter's wedding. I said, bingo, there's your why. And I said, every time you feel like quitting and not following your plan, you read that and you reflect on that, and that's what's going to keep you moving forward. And let me tell you, the why can't be about the money. You can make money anywhere. Maybe it's what the money can do for you. But every day, every week, I train, I practice. They never activate me. And when the season's over, they tell me, you're not going to be good enough to play in the NFL, so we're letting you go. Now, at the time, I really didn't want to be in Dallas that year. That was 1989. Anybody remember how bad Cowboys were in 1989? Jimmy Johnson's first year, Troy Aikman was a rookie, Emmett wasn't there. We were 1-15. I was like, I'm out of here. These guys are never winning a Super Bowl. I leave and they win 3 Super Bowls. But is it time to quit? No. Went home and evaluated. This is where, for me as a man, as a speaker, as a business person, this is where I learned a lot. Because most people in those situations where you get a couple of no's, you deal with some setbacks, things aren't going the way you expected, it's kind of like a pity party. No, 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 no. What can I learn from this? It's time to self-evaluate. And the first thing for me is you have to understand, this was the first time from an athletic standpoint, someone told me no. I was gifted with the athletic ability. I was a little kid who was always picked first. You know, I heard that saying, hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work, well, I was talent working. I put in the work. This was the first time they said, no, you're not good enough. Most people hear the word no, they're ready to shut it down. They get a couple of no's and they're ready to shut it down. I've seen no's crush people's goals in their careers. Those no's fired me up. They made me hungrier. They made me want it even more. It energized me because I knew that no was part of the process. Somebody was going to say yes in the NFL. But I had to be honest with myself. What do I need to do to step up my performance? I need to get my knee healthy. That was one thing. I got to get healthy. And I remember reading a study in a magazine that said that one of the ways to improve your leg strength after ACL surgery to strengthen your balance and your proprioception was run hills. So I found a hill called Howes Hill in Portland, Oregon, and I was running that hill almost every day. If you've been in Oregon, it rains a lot. There are many times I was running in the rain. Nobody told me to do that. That's what you do to get stronger, to step up your performance, to put yourself in a position to be successful. But I had to be honest with myself too. And think about this. Have you ever had a meeting maybe with someone and it didn't go the way you wanted? Maybe you had a presentation, maybe you did a follow-up call or something, and when you got off the phone, you were like, okay, I didn't do this. I could have done a little better at that. And it's hard to do that. It takes humble individuals to really do that, to assess yourself in that way. And I had to be honest.